what is the best tight slots defense and what is the best halfback pitch defense in Madden 18. So it's kind of the meta right now. You're seeing it. We gave away the scheme last week, Buffalo Bills playbook. If you've never seen it, single-back tight slots.
Yep, we're going to get it for you.
People come out in halfback pitch, and they also call the play deep post. We'll link to it in the chat. We'll put it in the description. Make sure you go and watch this. It's a 3-part scheme. YouTube.com/sgibbs, YouTube.com/ZFarls. You can check it out. I'm going to come out on the pitch. Sure. You let us know kind of how to slow it down.
So there's 2 ways I like to slow down. I personally think right now the best run defense in the game is actually from nickel 3-3-5 normal cover 4 drop. I like it. I think it gives you good security with your cover 4 shell. You get good personnel. But primarily why I like it better than some other sets is I like its ability to be very versatile in terms of pass coverage. You don't have as many guys near the line of scrimmage, which allows you to kind of move guys, tinker, get them in spots to protect against the pass. I think 3-4 also really good at stopping the run. 4-4 can be good at stopping the run, but it struggles with its outside flat support. There is no stock cover 2 from that set with outside corners in flat zones. But I like nickel 3-3-5. I like cover 4 drop as a standard run defense. We'll also get into the play Tampa 2. You could call it the problem D, right, to help slow down the pitch, and we'll get into that in a second here. A good thing about cover 4 drop, you can come out in it, and your quick audible to the right is the cover 2, Tampa 2, the problem D, right?
Yeah.
So just something to note there. Now, this is the way I like to run it. So I like to pinch.
I'll just show you how the pitch works if you guys haven't seen it.
Sure.
You can flip it. We talked about it, so we'll talk about these cover 4 setups.
So what I like to do first and foremost, I like to pinch the linebackers. So this is a very small housekeeping thing about pinching linebackers. When you break huddle, I'm sure everyone out there has watched and played many games. When you break the huddle, you can't quickly click onto a guy and move him around the screen, right? You can't replicate this in practice, but what happens is when you pinch your linebackers, that allows you to quickly get to your safeties and get into position to make a play on the ball. So what I like to do is this. I like to pinch the linebackers. It gives you that little extra split second where you can click onto the safeties and get them into position. And I like to move the safeties down till about linebacker depth, just outside the hips of these defensive ends. See how Thomas outside the hip, and then you got Chancellor outside the hip. Now, what I like to do next is I take the linebacker, and if I think it's going to be a run, like a wham to the right or dive right, what I do is I move them into that gap. I make it look like that. Now, this hurts you if you run to the left side, but it's all about anticipation. And you can stock, leave him there, but what I find is when he's left there, he'll get kind of caught up behind the center to be tackled. But when I shoot him there, he's going to help shoot some lanes a little bit better. But then I sit back with my other linebacker in a hook zone right here, and I just try to play run support. The safeties usually shoot gaps, especially against those inside runs. You can see right there, I'm able to shoot wide and stop that. Now this time run a halfback dive, because the halfback pitch, this isn't a great run defense, but it's not a terrible run defense. But this is, again, how I set it up.
This is a good overall base play to come out against this popular tight slot.
This is overall a great base play in general for anything. But you can see that canali I had right there, and that's me staying back far enough, moving the linebackers, making sure the offensive linemen are looking at Wagner on that side. I move Chancellor down, and then I'm going to kind of hover right here, snap with the ball, and then I got a canali, and that canali is going to force you to go right unless you want to take my one-on-one on that edge. Now, I just want to show you what this looks like here if you run the ball to the right or left on the halfback dive. So if you run halfback dive on the left, and I'm in this lane, it can kind of get a prop. It's not terrible, but you see you lose the canali, right? But this is all about trying to create that canali where I'm going to get a lane to just kind of lay a hit stick on your running back. So it's just right here, inside run, snap of the ball, and then I can get there and then make a big play. So that's how I standard want to play inside run support. The other thing you can do is if you're truly worried about the safety play, you can bring them in the box like here, right?
But then you really lose out against the pitch.
But that's the problem is yes, now your pitch D is going to struggle. Because they're in, and if you get, that's the problem, you lose your support on the outside. So that's just something to monitor. But you want to bring the safeties up because they play great run support, and that's the kind of the way you want to stop interior runs. Now, outside runs, what I would first tell you is the Tampa 2 is fantastic at it because of this outside blitz angle here.
Yeah.
Now, it's really about, it doesn't have to be this set, but what's good about this set, you see how he blows up the run in the backfield. What this set will do is coming out in the cover 4, it gives you a good pass D, gives you a good blitz that you have from that Tampa 2 for pass coverage. So you're versatile in if they don't run pitch, they run pitch, whatever they do. But you're going to force them out of the pitch because they can't run. They're going to try and run to the right. But you could call any formation where there's a slot blitzer, and you're going to have success at stopping the pitch.
So with the pitch, one thing that makes it good, right, is you can quickly flip it.
Sure.
So how do you factor that into your pitch defense? Because obviously the Tampa 2 is mostly left.
I just make a predetermined read where I think they're going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll run it like this, and then I like to pinch my linebackers, right? Now in this instance, you can't get too greedy in cover 2. You can't bring them up too far because you get burnt deep. But if I would think you were going to run right, I would just I would make sure my guy over there, and I would just make sure I'm cheating pretty well. Mm-hmm. Get over it, and then you got to scrape, and it still wasn't terrible, but. He didn't get blown up in the backfield. The key is blowing the run up in the backfield. And what I want to show you here is I'm going to go to how about the 3-3-5 wide? Let's go Tampa 2, 3-3-5 wide. Let's do the same thing. Base align press. The base align press is the key to slowing down the pitch because you have defenders out wide. All right. So let me show you this. If I blitz shed off this edge, and if I just use a Wagner here, you're on the pitch, I'm going to be in pretty good support to slow you down. And because it's all about blowing up that. Pulling offensive lineman, getting to him first, not letting him kick and get upfield to push upfield. That's the success in terms of stopping the pitch out wide. Now, the strength of the pitch, why you need more pitch, because you could always flip it to the other side.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game. That's what makes it extremely difficult to stop you. Now you're one-on-one. That's the key to the pitch. The pitch is so effective because you get one-on-one situations on outside corners. And you know what one of the best moves in the game is? As a running back,
spin.
Left trigger, B, spin move. LaDainian Tomlinson, Shady McCoy, all these guys with fantastic spin moves. It just absolutely devastates defenders, and if you get by that one guy, see ya.
So you would recommend just cheating? You wouldn't over-recommend like flipping your defense or blitzing a linebacker and throwing him out there?
Listen,
because then you're just
if you want to do this, I don't think that's a terrible idea because you're going to get there and see how it gets money. You're going to force them to throw to that flat. Madden 18, you change the thing again, so it says escape stinks.
What does it say? It's too far away, I can't read it.
Listen, Madden 18 is a game of, it's I think where some frustration, and I know some frustration for me when I'm playing, comes from, it's a game where you just can't have one setup, set it and forget it. You have to always be changing. You have to always be making different adjustments. And right now, there's no one defense, no one play that you can call all game long on the outside of the ball and really be like, oh, I'm going to have success. I mean, I will say defensively, cover 2 cloud flats. That's pretty close to call that all game, actually.
Yeah,
I'll take that back on defense.
So that's some ways you can start to stop tight slots in the halfback pitch. You got to be ready for it. Cheat to one side, blitz the other side, and that's going to be your best, most balanced way to do it rather than trying to blitz off of both sides.